It's party time in the birthplace of Chinese communism. Welcome to 21st century Shanghai. With its science fiction skyline and hyper-scaled building boom, it's an imposing symbol of China's phenomenal growth. It's glorious to be rich is the party's new directive. A new middle class is creating a surge of wealth. A surge that is leaving millions behind. In an abandoned theme park on the edge of town, film director Ma Liang is selling dreams to the new China.
Action!
And in the heart of the city, designer Jenny Ji prepares to conquer the fashion world. On the other side of town, architect Jin Zeguan is erecting glittering towers on the rubble of the past. But the Shanghai dream comes at a price. Wei Qin has lost her home, her job, and maybe even her son's future. Nearly 2 million residents have been forced from their neighborhoods. Jiang Meili's husband tried to fight the system. Now he's in jail. She's harassed by police and destitute. Hu Yang captures a city of vaunting ambitions and wrenching despair. A world he fears could self-destruct. These are some of the lives caught up in one of the most stunning human transformations in the world today. And nowhere is that transformation more apparent than in Shanghai. In the streets and neighborhoods of the old city, the new dream for China is being turned into reality. A generation of Chinese now live in a style that would not look out of place in New York, Berlin, or Toronto. A quarter century ago, the Chinese government concluded that their survival depended on creating something they once tried to crush: a prosperous middle class. In 1921, the Communist Party was born here. Today, that once hallowed birthplace lies hidden behind a Starbucks and an upscale shopping plaza. State-controlled television is pumping out consumer dreams for the more than 100 million members of China's new middle class.
从这个头上去，站在这个摄像头的这个头上，在这边的头上，好吧，在这边的头上，好吧。
These ads have propelled director Ma Liang into the top ranks of Shanghai's booming advertising industry.
李岩，黄鱼站在那边。
These are exciting times for the 33-year-old director. He's part of the first generation in 50 years whose lives are not controlled by the Communist Party.
Yeah, yes, that's very nice.
Ma Liang owns a downtown condo, runs a successful business, and travels anywhere he wants. It's an astonishing transformation from his impoverished youth, when he and his family all lived together in 2 rooms.
In those days, we all wore poor clothing, very simple clothing. There was no complexity in our lives. Everything was just ordinary. Back then, when I was a teenager, I could never imagine what I'd be like when I hit 30. The way the country was going, I couldn't see that there was any future for me. Now I'm always dreaming. Dreaming about what I'll do next. Dreaming about what I might do tomorrow. And now look at me.
Ma Liang makes good money directing commercials for something that didn't exist even a decade ago, China's yuppie generation.
告别皱纹、眼袋和生理的衰老。
Across the country, women are determined to be part of the hip new urban lifestyle. Nearly half of all postgraduate degrees are earned by women, and women now make up 20% of the country's entrepreneurs. Jenny Ji started out studying economics. Today, she's one of Shanghai's hot young clothing designers.
现在这个，我觉得像这种模特弄脏了比较好看，下次用茶水泼一泼，为什么？有一种陈旧的感觉。
She's the only female designer in the city to be invited to Shanghai's upcoming international fashion show.
作为一个新的一代的这个
I'm a designer from the new generation, and I feel great. I don't have the old restrictions and boring attitudes. Even though there are lots of problems to solve, I feel positive about what's happening to me. The old pessimism has gone, and I can embrace the new changes. I'm always dreaming of the choices available to me.
我们也是会遇到很多的困难，但是
The Communist Party likes to call the creation of its new middle class socialism with Chinese characteristics. Everyone else calls it capitalism. But this is capitalism with a centrally planned roadmap.
Dear visitors, what you see in front of you is the planning model for Shanghai's central city, covering an area of 100 square kilometers.
Shanghai's master plan for the future has its own building, complete with a detailed scale model. It depicts a city with 4,000 new steel and glass skyscrapers and a network of roads and highways that has doubled in just 10 years. This massive construction boom is bursting out of the city. The countryside is being paved over with suburbs that now stretch to the horizon. Suburbs like Forest Manor, one of the pricier estate developments, 40 minutes from the center of the city. In housing-deprived Shanghai, gated communities are the status symbols of the newly rich. Family farms are being replaced with tree-lined streets, manicured lawns, and monster homes that would not look out of place in any upscale suburb in the West. Even though only a wealthy few can ever afford to live here, Forest Manor helps feed the dream that in the new China, anything is possible.